Stars, I'm a fool for your love.
Hey everybody, it's Zach, aka Zach's Reviews. We are back again with another video. Guys, today we're going to be talking about Snake Eyes. Today was the official day of Snake Eyes' release. I've been waiting for this movie for such a long time. Ever since the first G.I. Joe movie, when, I walked into that, when I first saw the trailers, I was like, what is this movie? I go into the movie, I see the character Snake Eyes, I instantly, right away, that was my favorite character. I was always a big, martial arts fan, a big ninja fan in general, and that character, stole the show for me, and I always felt felt like it was always interesting to me, the story of Snake Eyes, and, the way they did it in the first G.I. Joe movie, and, I always wanted to learn more about the character. I always wanted to see, the origin story actually play out, and just learn more about the character and get a Snake Eyes movie. And after all those years, guys, we finally got a Snake Eyes movie starring Henry Golding, and this movie and a whole bunch of other awesome actors and actresses. This movie by far was just freaking phenomenal. I walked out of I went to the 7 o'clock IMAX. I literally pre-ordered my tickets day one, and I'm just so happy I pre-ordered my tickets, and I'm just so happy I went to this IMAX screening. If you guys, haven't seen this movie yet, go see this movie. If you can, if you do have an IMAX theater, go see it in IMAX because it's so worth it. But if you don't, just go to the movies and go see this movie because this movie is badass. It's everything I wanted it to be of a Snake Eyes movie, and they're trying to build this universe, in this first origin movie of Snake Eyes, I could really see a universe being built here. They have the little Easter eggs on building to their universe of the universe they want to build. They pretty much wanted to do a Marvel Cinematic Universe over, with the G.I. Joe stuff, and I could totally see them doing that because this first movie they killed it. And guys, this is going to be a spoiler review. So, guys, if you haven't seen the movie yet, go check out the movie and then come back here to check out my review. I'm trying to be quiet a little bit because, everybody's sleeping and, and I'm trying to, I wanted to get this out for you guys because tomorrow, unfortunately, I have work. So, I wanted to get this out for you guys tonight. But guys, I really enjoyed this movie. I knew right away when I saw the trailer that Henry Golding was going to kill it. I knew of him from Crazy Rich Asians. My sister saw it and she said it was a good movie. I still have yet to see it. But, I knew that, he was going to kick ass and be awesome. I heard about Andrew Koji from, Warrior. I heard about that series of Warrior, and I heard how many people say it's really, really good. And I still have to, when I get the time, I'm going to definitely check out this series because, people have been saying it's freaking phenomenal and awesome, and he does a phenomenal job in that. And I totally believe it because from what I saw him do in this movie playing Storm Shadow, which he killed it, by the way, is freaking phenomenal. He did a phenomenal job as Storm Shadow. I think literally this is the best, I love the other person that played Storm Shadow, but he really executed it so damn well. His skills in martial arts in general, from what I saw in this movie, are freaking phenomenal. I could tell that he's definitely he's a martial arts expert. Literally, I could tell from this movie that this is just something that's just second nature to him. He knows this shit by heart, and he just kills it. His acting was spot on. I really felt his emotion in all the scenes that he was in as Storm Shadow, and him pretty much bringing in Snake Eyes pretty much to the clan, and really seeing that build up. I really believed it, and just every action sequence he was in, he just kicked ass. And Henry Golding, I knew he was going to do a phenomenal job, and seeing him, we really get to see all these actors and actresses really we really get to see their range, and from what I saw, of him in Crazy Rich Asians to being in this, it shows, he's got awesome range, and from what he, said, him wanting to show everybody that he's actually the person doing the, the work, and, and doing the martial arts, doing the stunt work, doing everything, you really see that in this movie, that he really put in work to play Snake Eyes, which, I love that he wanted to, do as much as he could with the stunts and really show off that, he really trained, doing all the martial arts to be Snake Eyes. Like, you really see him putting in work, and you see that it's him. It's not no cutaways or anything. It's actually him kicking ass and being badass. And he just did a phenomenal job. Every moment, he was in, I'm like, dude, this is freaking phenomenal. I can't wait to see this universe being built, as him as Snake Eyes, Andrew as, Storm Shadow. I was really, really, really happy about that. And they both killed it, and we really see that brother bonds build up, and, in the split up, because we all know that they're adversaries in the G.I. Joe universe. We know the story of, Storm Shadow brings in Snake Eyes, and, the clan leader ends up dying, and everything, like, we know the origin story, and and then that pretty much makes them split ways of Storm Shadow with what is it I don't know why with Cobra, and we see then Snake goes with the Joes, but he's also a part of the clan still, so and just seeing that, what we know from the other G.I. Joe movies and stuff like that, but really seeing it play out, and they do some different stuff, some different takes, because, we don't see, we don't see the Master die in this movie. We don't see, we see more of the brotherly bonds. It started out, of him pretty much, he saved, Storm Shadow's life. And, it's like him, as like, like saying, I owe you, like, I owe you my life. You saved me. Like, like I'm bringing you into my family because I know you don't have a home. And, like, this is my way of repaying you. And, and you joining the clan and all that stuff. We really get to see him just right away, owing Snake for saving his life. And, he goes by Snake. We don't know his real name because he says in the movie that, he thought his real name was fake because he found out his father, was into, like, he found out his father, had no name. He had different aliases, and he didn't know who his father was. So he said, if I didn't know who my father was, I don't even know if my real name is fake. So, that was really cool to see that, and that's why, we really don't need to know his name because he thought it was, he knows that he thinks it's fake, so he calls himself Snake due to the death of his father pretty much being executed by, by like some, like agent or whatever. So, and there's more of, why that happens and who his father is and stuff like that, because we, in the beginning of the movie, we really see, Snake as a kid, and pretty much, he's with his father, and they're at some abandoned, like, I guess they're at like a safe house. And, he's asking father, why is it called a safe house if we don't have a safe and stuff like this and that. And we're wondering, why is his father at a safe house? Why does it look like, he's worried that someone's watching them? But we learn more about that throughout the movie. But really seeing the bond and how good, Henry and Andrew play these characters, and seeing the bond of, like, how they came across one another, and just seeing all this play out, and him bringing him into the clan, and him trying to do the 3 challenges of the warrior, and one of the members of the clan not liking him, and seeing all this play out, and he has to, like, earn their respect and earn their trust to be in the clan, but also he's doing stuff with I always forget with the Yakuza, and because he ends up joining the Yakuza because apparently he is just a fighter. And pretty much they recruit him, and they're like, oh, you don't even know what my offer is. He's like, I don't need anything from anybody. I'm just going to do my fights and leave. But the guy, the head of the Yakuza knows, why, he fights, knows pretty much everything about him. He, his father, being killed, and no one being able to find the body, and it's just a mystery, and him not having any, documents of who the person was because they couldn't identify the body because there was no alias of him. Like, he just used different aliases, his father, and no one knew about Snake, so that's why he doesn't have a name and everything like that, except the name that his father gave him, because but he says that doesn't count because I didn't know who my father was really. He had faked a whole bunch of different aliases, and I consider my name being fake because I don't even know who I am. So it's just an overall mystery, and that's even more of a mystery, but yet we still know that it's a mystery, but yet we know more now about Snake as a person. So, I just love the deep dive we're getting, and, the origins of this movie. This movie just hit different levels of awesomeness. The fighting was so fucking badass, guys, and, I just can't wait to see what else they're going to bring to the table, because they really gave us, a shit ton of fighting, of different sort. They gave us a lot. They gave us the training. They gave us the sick, katana work and everything. Like, they really went in hard with everything, and you could really tell in the dedication that everybody put into this movie, of the training to like learn how to fight, and like, what I mean, like the Henry put in and all that stuff. Andrew already knew how to fight, but you really see their dedication, that they're trying, like, to be these characters, and you just can't ignore that. They worked so hard, and they did such a great job. Andrew killed it as a Storm Shadow. Henry killed it as Snake Eyes. Freaking Samara Weaving killed it as Scarlet, and that's the one thing. My one nitpick is I wish we had more Scarlet. Her entrance was sick. I saw the clip of her in the bathroom kicking the Cobra's ass. That was such a sick scene, and I cannot wait to see more of her. I don't know if they're gonna make a sequel right away, or if they're gonna do a G.I. Joe movie. I could see them doing another sequel, then maybe a G.I. Joe movie. But they mentioned the Joes from her perspective, because that's her bringing in the Joe aspect of things, because she's a Joe, and it shows there of the clan of the Arashikage to like pretty much working with the Joes. It shows that, and I love that so freaking much, because I love her. Pretty much she's getting the call from Storm Shadow and everybody, and like and Aiko or whatever, I think that's her name, Aiko or Aiko, if I'm pronouncing that right, I don't know, but that was such a sick character too, in this movie. Like, there were so many, and like the Blind Master, and and the Hard Master. It was so funny, because there was a funny scene where like Snake, it's like I want to say it's the first challenge or the second challenge, and he has to pretty much hold a bowl of water. And the Hard Master is like the one that does all the training. Like, he's the best fighter ever, and he trains everybody in the clan. And like, he like the challenge is that you have to take the bowl of water away from the Hard Master, but also not spilling your water. And like, that was just overall really sick, because I guess you get 4 tries to like do this. You get 4 tries, and like, anytime like and you have to pretty much drop all your cockiness and everything, and you have to like actually use your brain to think of, okay, like, drop my cockiness, drop everything I know, and just and actually listen to the wisdom of Storm Shadow, of giving him like, okay, like, really use your heart and your mind to do these tasks. And I really, really enjoyed that. So, there was one moment where he's like, okay, hard on master, whatever you call yourself. I was like, oh my god, the jokes were funny. The jokes stuck so freaking well, and they were really great jokes. They were funny, they were at the right times, they weren't forced. This movie just hit all levels of awesomeness. My favorite scenes of this movie, have to be Scarlet when she first shows up, where we see her walking off the plane. She knows she's being watched, but she's also on FaceTime with Aiko and Storm Shadow and Snake, and she's pretty much getting freaking Scarlet up to date on what's going on with Cobra and Baroness, doing working together with Yakuza and everything, and the Yakuza's working with Cobra and everything, like all the stuff that's going on, because there's a rogue person that was in the Arashikage, but then pretty much got kicked out by Storm Shadow, because apparently there was 2 people up to being the leader, and pretty much the one dude that wanted to be the other dude wanted to kill Storm Shadow so he could be the leader, but then he ended up finding out, and pretty much there's a word for it, pretty much casting him out of the clan, saying you're like banished him, you're like he's no longer allowed to be a part of the clan. He's had revenge for the clan ever since, and pretty much is trying to get his revenge and everything. So pretty much, he's working with them to take down, the clan. So that's his motivation of working with Cobra, and she wants something from him, and he wants something from, he wants to take over, destroy, the clan, and she wants, the thing that he's using to destroy the clan, the object he has, which we will talk about in a little bit. But literally, I just love how, I love Samara Weaving. I literally love her. I freaking, loved her in Ready or Not. That was the first time, I got introduced to her in that movie. And she's just a phenomenal actress. And right when I knew she got casted as Scarlet, I'm like, oh my god, she's going to play this role so freaking good. And she kicks ass so much. I just love her, bro. She just did such a phenomenal job of kicking ass and being a badass. And I cannot wait to see her in future projects in the G.I. Joe universe. I cannot wait. I just love it. I just love her so much. So, I just can't wait to see more of her. And just seeing, my other favorite scene has to be the big fight sequence. Pretty much, it's a big fight sequence before, leading into the finale. It's in the third act, and it's them. It's a big chase sequence where Snake finally realizes that he was wrong of pretty much doing, because we as we end up finding out that he is because in the beginning we actually towards in the middle, it's not in the middle, it's in the couple minutes of the movie, we see that actually he only saved Storm Shadow to pretty much because he only joined up with the Yakuza to pretty much find his dad's killer. And pretty much, this is what he had to do to, so they would keep their end of the bargain on giving, Snake his dad's killer. He had to pretty much earn Storm Shadow's trust, join the clan, get the object that he wants, and we end up finding that through in the towards the beginning of the towards the middle of the first part, we end up learning that he only tried to get Storm Shadow on the boat for a reason, is to, I guess, take him somewhere he wanted him to take him to the boat, but instead he went to go fight that guy, the head leader of the Yakuza, and because he wants revenge, he wants to take him out because he tried killing Storm Shadow when it came to who's going to be the leader of the clan. So he just is hell-bent on revenge, same as how the head of the Yakuza is hell-bent on revenge, on getting revenge on the clan and everybody a part of the clan. So while he's playing Storm Shadow, saying, I'm happy that you accepted me in your home and you want me to be a part of the clan, he is still working with the head of the Yakuza, pretty much saying where's my where we have the deal, you told me, you lied to me, he actually said you tried killing him and everything, and I did, this wasn't what I signed up for. I wanted my dad's killer, but I didn't want to do it this way where I'm helping you guys do world destruction, and and you guys are doing terrorism and all this stuff. I don't want to be any a part of this. I don't want to be a part of it. But he keeps egging him on even more, oh, you're so close to getting your revenge on your father's killer. He gives him the dice of his father, saying you actually found him. He gives he shows Baroness shows them a FaceTime of him being in a chair, being tied up, really trying to egg him on, even though he keeps coming back saying, I don't want any part of this, you guys are a terrorist organization, and you guys want this object that they have, that they're protecting, and the clan is protecting, pretty much to do world domination, do destruction. I want no part of this. But he's so hell-bent on revenge, and that's just the main story of this is, of him being set on revenge, and him actually becoming the Snake Eyes character that we know and love, is him, setting aside that revenge, really trying to be better, and just, come to terms that, it wasn't his fault as a kid that his father died, and just him coming to terms with that and being a better man and putting his energy and his heart and soul into something that's greater, a better purpose. And I really enjoy that so much. We see that journey with him. He's so hell-bent on revenge, and we don't expect that he is working with the bad guys, that because we figure right when he saves Storm Shadow that he would be good on from there on out, but actually that was all part of the plan, except helping him get to the boat, but not helping pretty much take out a whole bunch of other guys and stuff like that. That really wasn't a part of the plan, essentially. It kind of got off book when, he ran off and saw, the head of the Yakuza that was a part of, the clan. He pretty much, instead of getting on the boat. So it went off track a little bit. But, we really weren't expecting him to still, be doing that. We really just expected, he's helping Storm Shadow out, and he's going to help them take down this guy, when he ends up finding out that guy was part of the clan and everything. So I really love that, that we didn't know that, but then we ended up thinking that he's only working together, and this was all planned to learn the respect, so we'd earn the trust of, Storm Shadow and the clan to just, to get the thing, for, again, the leader of the Yakuza to get revenge on the clan. So I just love that aspect of the story, and it was so good. And, I really love the journey that we see, Snake Eyes goes on. We understand, going into this, from what we know about Storm Shadow, we know that, he is just such a hothead, and we don't know, we know because, he's pretty much was jealous of Snake Eyes, essentially, what we know of him and the other, G.I. Joe and the other G.I. Joe movies. When we learned the origin a little bit, he was jealous of Snake Eyes. He never wanted to bring him in. He thought he was a weakling and just a stray that the master brought in, and he was just so jealous that the master brought him in, and he ended up being better than Storm Shadow, and the master ended up favoring him and stuff like that. He just got jealous, essentially, and due to Zartan pretty much sabotaging Storm Shadow, of killing the master, and everybody thinking, part of the clan, that Storm Shadow killed the master. And pretty much that's what him thinking that, that Snake thinking that he killed the Hard, I think it was the Hard Master at the time, and then pretty much Storm Shadow being mad at Snake, thinking that he killed the Hard Master and stuff like that, and pretty much that's why they were on two different ends of things. But it was all part of Zartan's plan. But that's totally different here, because Storm Shadow is actually when we see this movie in the towards when we see him in this movie, he's not that way. He's not so hot-headed. But he still is at the same time. But he's not all hell bent on I feel like he's still aggressive, but he's not he's more like a Zen warrior. We see that, but he turns into the Storm Shadow that we know, hell bent on revenge, literally, because the one object that they're sworn to protect is the sun, the jewel of the sun, and it's it's something that they've been protecting for years, and it has the power of the sun pretty much, and making people explode. It's a mystical power that they were supposed to protect the clan, and they've been protecting for years. And we get a lot of mystical elements, in towards the middle of the movie. A part of his the 3 challenges of the warrior. The third challenge is literally you survive and you can be a part of the clan, or you die, and it's a judgment by these 3 snakes. And I got Harry Potter vibes with the Chamber of Secrets. I have a fear of snakes. I shouldn't say that, but I do. Literally, I don't know what it is, but I'm not a big snake fan, honestly. Not snake. I love the snake, the character, but snakes in general, I was I don't know. But I don't know. Just the 3 big snakes, I was this is sick. But oh my god, snakes. I'm oh damn. But literally though, I thought that was a sick scene, because it makes sense. This clan would have the mystical element, and it's the G.I. Joe world, so why not? So I just really thought it was cool to have that element, and those 3 big snakes and everything, and I love it, because they're we'll see Snake, because they know that's his name, Snake, and I was why is he? I'm oh my god, there's snakes down there, aren't there? Because that Hard Master is oh, we'll see if you will survive, Snake, and I was just funny because there were snakes down there, but I just love that mystical element, and then the jewel of the sun, and that's what that's what I think his name is what's his name? I'm gonna say Kenta. His name is Kenta, the leader of the Yakuza. So Kenta is, the ex, he used to be a part of the clan, but he's an ex-member of the clan, and he's running the Yakuza now, and he wants the Jewel of the Sun, and pretty much that was the deal. Oh, you give me the jewel, you gain the Arashikage's trust, from Storm Shadow, and I think it's how do you pronounce that character's name? Aiko. So you earn their trust and you get the jewel, and I'll give you your father's killer. That was the whole entire thing. And again, he kept trying to go back and be like, oh, this is what I signed for. Like, this wasn't what I signed for, and he'd been lying to me. But he was so hell bent on revenge. And again, I love how it's like he realized that he's meant for more than that, and it wasn't his fault and stuff like that of his death of his father, and seeing all these elements. It was just a great story overall. Great moments of, again, Samara Weaving coming in as Scarlet, and I guess she has like history with Baroness, because again they go against each other. It's Cobra and Joe's, and they fight each other, so of course they've met before. So I just really love that. And I really love how they're setting room. We see the moment pretty much at the end of this movie. We see the moment where they break off, where Storm Shadow is furious because he's like, I only used the jewel even though you said we can't ever use that jewel because I wanted it to end. I wanted everything to end. And they're like, no, the rules. You're not supposed to use that jewel. And there will only be one leader of the Arashikage now, and it's only going to be me. I'm the last bloodline member that's going to be a part of the leading the clan. And he was furious. He's like, no. I spent my entire life has been to be the leader, has been to be, that this is my birthright. You can't take this away from me. And she's like, and he's just as furious. And I knew right away from there he blamed Snake for everything, because if Snake wouldn't have, done all this stuff of, pretty much, being the inside man for, the Yakuza just to get his father, the father's killer, and then none of this would have happened, like, most likely. So, he blames Snake. He's like, next time I see you, you said, you owe me your life. And he's like, next time, I'll take your life. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to see the next time they meet, because that's going to be the Storm Shadow that we know. Them, going back and forth. But Snake doesn't want to believe that, he's gone, and he wants to bring him back. He wants to bring, Storm Shadow home. And I really do love that. He wants to bring him back, and he has hope that he'll come back. And, because he didn't mean at the end of the day to lose his trust or lose anything. But pretty much, he's so hell-bent on, pretty much revenge now, because he blames Snake for everything. So, even though that was his choice, he's like, we always have a choice. He's like, I had no choice. And his mom, his grandma was like, you always have a choice. And I was like, that's really good. That's true. Everybody always has a choice. So pretty much he goes off. He ends up, being with Baroness, and Baroness is like, I have a purpose for you, and I have an offer for you. And he's like, he was calling him by his real name. He's like, call me Storm Shadow. My name is Storm Shadow, meaning that's his name now. He's Storm Shadow, guys, because they mention it like, oh, you like. Aiko's like, you have that look in your eye, it's a storm, right? It's a shadow right before the storm. I was like, that's freaking a sick ass line. And I was just like, that's so clever, meaning that it's Storm Shadow, and we see the white leather he has on, that leather jacket that he has and everything, and we see hints to, Snake Eyes with his black leather jacket, and then he gets his outfit. He gets like close to the outfit, and then he gets the official outfit at the end when he's going to go after, Storm Shadow, when he's going to go after him. And I love how he gets supplied again, because he gets supplied, the suit gets supplied to him by their Arashikage. We see their side of their power, which is the power of their tech and everything, and how the suit, because we see the suit there when he is trying to figure out how to get to the Jewel of the Sun. We see the suit, we see the mask, we see the suit, and it's being built, but we don't know it's for him yet. But it ends up being given to him by I think it gets given to him by Aiko, and pretty much, and they're like, like, you're going after him. He's like, yeah, I gotta go after him to help him out. And pretty much, Scarlet says the same, like, Scarlet asks him, because Scarlet gives him, a file, and we end up finding out that his dad was actually a Joe. I think he was a pilot. And he's like, that's great. My dad was a Joe, and she's like, yeah, I guess, when we got there, it was already too late. And he had no record of you because he was trying to protect you, and that's why you're still alive, and that's why you were off the grid and everything like that. Then that's why you don't have any record, is because he tried to protect you because he was a Joe. And he's like, do you think I could be a Joe? And she's like, anybody can be a Joe. It doesn't matter what your pasts are. Anybody can be a Joe. And that's so good, because he's gonna have that that's gonna like lead into him becoming a Joe, and I love that, but also being a part of the clan as well because he balances it out. He's part of the clan, but he works with the Joes, and I do love that. So I'm just excited to see where this universe is going to build up. What movie are we gonna get next? I don't know. We could get maybe we could get a Cobra Commander movie. Maybe we could get I don't know. We could get multiple things, honestly. I'm just so happy this movie was just so great. It was everything I hoped it would be and more. And I don't know why, but like it's sitting at like right now on Rotten Tomatoes. Even though a lot of people don't like care about Rotten Tomatoes, I don't even care about Rotten Tomatoes too. But it's just so nice to check it out once in a while on like what they think over there. So let me look it up real quick. Rotten Tomatoes. I think I'm saying like at 55, which was bullshit. I think so, that made me so pissed. Because when I was checking out, like I ran across it by accident on Instagram before I was heading over to the theater. Actually, it's actually less than, damn, some bullcrap. It's at like, yeah, right now on the tomato meter, it's sitting at 43%. That's bullshit. Audience give it a 76%. Let's go. You see, people over at Rotten Tomatoes, I don't know what they be smoking sometimes, but that ain't it, Chief. Really, you're giving it a 43? That's a disgrace. That was not a 43 movie at all. And then viewers give it a 61. But the tomato meter gives it a 43. Reviewers give it a 61. Audience score is 76. And actually, the viewer... it's called Viewer Than 50 Verified Ratings. Okay, so yeah, the audience give it a 76, and I believe by starting next week, because it's only Thursday, I'm assuming on Monday it's gonna get higher than the 76. I believe it. This movie I can't imagine will disappoint the Joe fandom. I'm pretty new to the Joe fandom, again, as you guys know, because I really only knew about the G.I. Joe stuff. I didn't know really much about the cartoons and stuff. I only really knew it when I saw the movie, like the trailer, and I went to the old the G.I. Joe movie, and then G.I. Joe Retaliation, but I knew of the Joes that's when I started loving the Joe stuff. So yeah, but I'm really looking into the lore of the comics. I'm looking more into the cartoons and stuff because I'm really interested in this universe, and I can't wait for it to keep going. At least I hope like it will get a sequel, this movie, because they're setting up for a sequel. They set up where like they are officially Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow now, and they introduced like Scarlet. They introduced Scarlet to introduce the Joes because she is a part of the Joes. That was such a great way to bring in the Joes without bringing in all the Joes. But like, because we don't want the Joes to overshadow what the main premise of the story is of him being a part of the clan and everything being there. But that was just a good Easter egg of bringing Scarlet in here to open the door of the Joes are here too, and what can we do with them in like a sequel if they're gonna do a Snake Eye sequel, or maybe like a G.I. Joe like movie connected to this and stuff, because they're building a universe here, and I'm here for it. This movie was so great. I literally give it an A+. Like, it was just freaking phenomenal. Great acting, great action. Again, the choreography was freaking phenomenal, guys. Like the katana work in these scenes were great. Another one of my favorite sequences is where Snake Eyes is on the bike, and pretty much Aiko and Storm Shadow are going after him because they realize that he gave the Jewel of the Sun to I forget I always forget the villain's name of this movie. I don't know what it is, but I do. To Kenta. So they realize that, so they're going after him, and then he realizes that someone's following them, and he ends up what he ends up doing is he ends up flipping around on the bike and getting his his katana out, and then he ends up doing a front flip over Aiko and Storm Shadow's blade, and pretty much lands back on the bike, and then pretty much he slices the front part of the bike, and he ends up doing the spin move, whoever that guy was on the bike. That was the sickest scene ever. And then there's another moment where like he gets on the bike again. He's still on the same bike, and then what he ends up doing is he ends up there's a moment where like there's a car about to hit him. He does a front flip on, and then he ends up stabbing inside the car. That whole sequence, and him getting on that big that truck carrier with all the cars on it, and he's doing the big fight sequence on there. That was just a sick scene in general. this movie had so many, like, the training montages were cool, the end fight was cool, everything part of this movie, all the action was badass, and I'm gonna see this movie again, 100%. I might see it 2 more times. I just love this movie. Henry did an amazing job. Andrew did an amazing job. Samara Weaving did an amazing job. Again, I'm gonna say some other names I'm probably gonna butcher. Haruka Abbey, I think that's her name, that played Aiko. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I'm sorry about that. You did a phenomenal job. Aiko. US, I think that's how he pronounces his name. I could be wrong. I'm terrible at what do you call I can't even think of the word for it. Pronunciations, like I'm trash at that. But I know him from Wu Assassin. I love him in Wu Assassin. I heard that we're going to be getting not season 2 but a movie, so I can't wait for that to come out. I'm a big fan of Wu Assassin, so I can't wait. I think it's Ursula Cabero or Ursula Cabero. She played Baroness. She did a phenomenal job as well. And of course, I think everybody, and even the people I didn't mention, you guys did a phenomenal job. You smashed it. I hope we get a sequel. I want a sequel so bad. So freaking bad. But guys, I'm just so happy because we're getting a lot of martial arts, movies and shows this year. I mean, think about it. We got Cobra Kai in the beginning of the year. We got, Snake Eyes. We're getting Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which that is my most anticipated movie of Marvel this year. It is. I would say Spider-Man probably, because, if Tobey and Andrew are in that movie, I would put it over Shang-Chi. But if they're not in that movie, because we don't have any, confirmation that they are, even though I kind of know, especially Loki kind of confirms that they are, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is by far, my most anticipated if Spider-Man doesn't have Tobey and Andrew. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten. Oh my god. I cannot wait for that freaking movie, guys. I'm so excited for that. And on top of, at the end of this year, before 2022, we're getting Cobra Kai Season 4. This year is the battle of, martial arts, honestly. And I am so grateful as a martial arts fan that we're finally getting, all this stuff this year of just full-on martial arts, brawling, kicking ass, katana work, everything. Also, Mortal Kombat. We had all these things this year. That's awesome. But guys, again, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, put on those notifications, like this video. I would love to have you guys here, part of this family here on this channel. We're growing each and every day. We're almost to 400 subs, guys. So please, yet again, join this family. Hit that subscribe button. Let me know down in the comments below that you guys subscribed so I could talk to you guys and, welcome you guys to the family. But guys, again, if you guys haven't seen this movie, go check out this movie. Give it some love, give it some praise. Literally, they worked really hard on this movie. And, it shows that the actors and actresses really put in that work to be these characters. And the writers and the directors and everybody really put in the work to really make this movie to really kick ass so they can build up to their universe, which I'm super excited for. Hands down. And I was about to say, another crazy thing about this is that, let me check something out real quick, because I just want to verify that I was actually right, who I saw in this movie. I'm going to go IMDb because it's not really telling me on here. But honest to God, guys, I really want to know what you guys thought about this movie if you guys have seen it, because I loved and enjoyed every moment of this movie. And I hate how people aren't it's people's opinions, but people are like, oh, this is a disgrace to the G.I. Joe universe and everything like that. And it's sad because you can really tell they put in hard work and dedication in this movie, and the cinematography of this movie was gorgeous. Everything was so freaking gorgeous. There wasn't a dull scene in this movie. Everything was A1. The acting, the action, the cinematography, the score, everything. I'm not gonna lie, when I went to IMAX though, the theater was so loud. It was unusually louder than it usually is. And I was kind of oh my god. I mean, I was I'm enjoying it, but I was dang, this is so loud, but I don't even care, it's so good. But I was oh my god, this is so loud. The way they had it, I was oh my lord. It's not showing me on Rotten Tomatoes, so I have to check here. Why did I say that? I didn't say that. Here we go. Yeah, I was right. I was right. I can't believe that. Let's go. I was right. I pointed it out to my sister that Larry Hama, pretty much the person that made Snake Eyes, made a cameo in this movie. He makes a cameo right when they find out where Kenta is being, like where he has his like lair and not his lair, but like where he's at. And they find out where he's at. And we see Larry Hama walk like in the rain with an umbrella. I was like, oh my god, that's the person that made Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow and everybody like that. He made the comics. He made the run of Snake Eyes. He made those characters. And I was like, that's so freaking sick. I didn't know he was gonna be in the movie. I knew that they had him like on set and they wanted to show him that they're taking care of his characters and they're doing them the right way and everything. And like they wanted to it really meant a lot to him that they invited him on the set to see everything build up and the way they were doing it. And it was so cool to see him make a cameo in this. I was like, oh my god, that's so freaking sick. I was like, without that badass, we wouldn't have these badasses. So I was like, that's sick, he was in there. I'm really happy. That shows that, again, that it was in the right hands of the director and the writers and of this movie, that they care about where the stories and where the characters came from, who made them, and I just really, really love how they did that. That was just really sick. But without further ado, I'm going to end this video here. I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day. I can't wait to hear what you guys thought about the movie in the comments, so I'll see you guys next time. Peace.